have some talk now.
Bryn, would you...
Check on Sev? Always. But how are you holding up?
I'm alright. Just worried about him, you know? He did the right thing in the end, and he seems to have come back to us for now, but all those issues that led him to the Eye in the first place, they aren't solved in a day.
He needs us now more than ever.
Exactly.
He's literally right behind you.
So, about all that stuff I had you bring me. Turns out I don't need it as much as I thought I did when I was sleep-deprived and strung out.
Funny how much clarity comes from a nap.
Yeah. Anyway, I've put all those materials back in your chest. Along with a few other things Aurea and the band found cluttering the caravan.
Wow. Thanks, Cass.
Don't mention it. Use it for whatever you want. Gear, weapons, fixing up the camp.
Nice. Too bad I've already maxed out the camp.
I'm sorry.
For what?
You saw through the Eye from the start, and I doubted you when I shouldn't have.
I have experience dealing with slimy, over-promising leaders, so foresight was on my side there.
I'm serious. I didn't realize he was capable of this.
No one could have predicted he would be manipulated so thoroughly. That level of incompetence is hard to foresee.
The Eye is the highest position of leadership within the Enclave. The most progressive place in the Maida.
One we've been told stories of our entire lives. It's become mythic.
The more time we spend here, the more I realize that those were practically fairy tales. I allowed myself to be blinded by his title. I need to be sharper next time.
Sounds good. So that's all that talk. I'm gonna go talk to Karn. Not Karn, that's the title. Stanild. Because he had talk. I feel like I missed something. There was no cutscene in between the last fight and here. And I feel like there was supposed to be? Oh.
Hardly in any position to make lofty demands. The council convened and unanimously stripped you of your role. You no longer hold the privileges of the Eye.
And how quickly did you convene that council? You hardly waited for my daughter's body to cool.
She is dead because of you. Because of your reckless behavior and deception, no less.
Harun, how dare you? Every decision I've made, every action I've taken has been for her protection.
Abandoning her at the Grand Gate was for her protection. We all saw you on the scry. And that is Khan Arteme to you, Kenrick.
Is this a bad time?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
No. You're more than welcome at Cassidon's Hold. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you.
I came to offer my condolences. To both of you.
Oh. Thank you.
This was the cutscene. I had to finish Aftermath before it played out. Okay. I can appreciate her kindness or reminisce on her bravery or admire her intellect. I mean, these are all good things. Go with her kindness.
Intellect can be taught, and creativity can be cultivated. But the kindness Isla embodied is rare. She helped our quartermaster through her darkest hour. I'll always be grateful for that.
She was exceptional. It's hard to imagine the Enclave will ever recover from this loss.
Then why are you so opposed to giving her the funeral she deserves?
With the Surgeborn swarming Denevron, we can't risk a trip to the Hallowpire Rise.
For generations, every Stanild has received the rite of ashes upon death. Isla will not be the exception to this.
Could I perform the rite on your behalf?
You? Don't tell me you're a Hallowpire priestess on top of being a righteous pain in my ass.
Skies, do you want a funeral or not? She's our best option.
Isla saved my life. I want to help you honor her death.
I suppose you do owe her that. Fine. For the rite of ashes, you need to burn an object that was sacred to the deceased upon the High Pyre. As you collect the ashes, you must read a rite aloud to thank the flames for bringing the deceased to rest.
Do you have an object that was sacred to Isla?
Isla's most prized possessions aren't in Cassidon's hold. She had a secret refuge in Dredger's Mire. You're sure to find something. She was always sneaking away at night to work there.
You knew she was sneaking out of Cassidon's hold.
I knew my daughter better than she realized. Return to me with the ashes.
Thank you, Bryn.
Oh, that's the mission in Memories. Okay. Got it. Retrieve the Spindle's personal effects from her secret refuge near Pondervale in Dredger's Mire. I'm not sure what's stranger, that Isla had a secret refuge in the outskirts. Oh, this is where she took Haroon. Or that her father knew she was sneaking out of Caston's Hold all this time. It isn't safe for anyone in Caston's Hold to travel to the Hallowpire Rise for a funeral, so I've been tasked with performing the rite of ashes on Isla's behalf. Isla's? I don't even know if I'm ever pronouncing it right. As I always forget. I need to collect an object that was sacred to Isla from her refuge and burn it on the altar. As I collect the ashes for Isla's father, I need to speak... It's Isla? Like Isle, right? It's Isla. I'm gonna say Isla. I need to speak the sacred rite. I don't follow the first flame personally, so Karn Arteme transcribed the rite for me. Through the flame abates and the ashes grows... Through the flame abates and the ash grows cold, let she who worshipped you rest in eternal warmth.
Ridiculous! The Stanilds have been receiving the rite of ashes at the Hallowpire Rise for generations. That Hiram doesn't want to send a mourning party is an insult to her memory.
That's not fair. You know Khan Arteme would love to give Isla.
Don't say her name.
All I'm saying is the Axel lost someone too. You don't need to make this harder on her.
And who, pray tell, is working to ease my pain? The answer is in the silence. No one.
That's probably because it's your fucking fault, dumbass.
You're going to speak to the Talon?
I don't expect to get much out of it, but yes.
Be careful. Clearly the Talon was able to manipulate Kenrick. And while I know you're not the idiot he is, speaking to that thing is risky.
I just have to find out what I can. If the Talon has any insight that can help us.
It's a risk worth taking, I know. Just don't reveal anything in the process.
I didn't know that's what that was. Okay. So we're good to go? And it's a miasma, because of course it is. Free the Spindle's personal effects from her secret refuge near Pondervale. I really wish it would mark stuff on the map. This is Pondervale. Transit ledgers. Shipments, rush, transit by Loom Gate. Wait, did I see that thing? Oh, but I see this. Windskull Strides. Right here in Pondervale. What is the fuck? Oh, that's the weather thing. Okay, it's probably over here, huh?
That might be Isla's secret refuge. It's actually Lucia's workshop.
Because Lucia was her mom, bro. I still believe that's true.
Isla dedicated her life to restoring the Arks. Darm's right. We will need to continue her research. But for now, what might she consider sacred for the right?
Are you aggro? What is it, a book?
A letter from the Axel. I should take it back to her.
Personal letter? I don't know what you mean by last resort, but it's important, and I owe you everything. We'll get it out. The one thing I can't climb is the ladder. Points Headguard. That's here in the hideout. Oh, okay, never mind.
A toy Archon. That's sweet. Darm, do you think this could work for the Rite of Ashes?
It's perfect.
Huh. Isla also had a copy of On the Workings of Archons, marked with annotations, just like Lucia's.
Could be useful.
Wait, I'm losing you.
You hear me better now?
Yeah. Weird. The scry was cutting out.
Strange. At any rate, the book could be useful. Once you've completed the ritual, I'll take a look.
Again, I'm pretty sure Lucia was her mom. I don't think I can go to the one that's here. It'll have to be the one in Tenebron, right? Because that one, at least I know, has a... Oh, it tells me on the thing, if I would have just read that. Oh, I was like, what is that noise? It's just you guys. Okay, bye. No, that couldn't have been that. It was like a black explosion. And they spit acid. So yeah, I don't know what that was. hell? I keep trying to change abilities. It's not changing. I'm stuck on these stupid bones. Okay. It's up there. I already know that much. Because we accidentally found it already. Oh, I have to go here first? I thought I had to go to the upper... the upper platform.
Sad to burn such a sweet toy. Now to collect the ashes. Though the flame abates and the ash grows cold, let she who worshipped you rest in eternal warmth.
Beautiful, Bryn.
I'm sure Isla is...
There it is again. The scry is cutting in and out. Dom? Aurea?
We're... Can you hear me now?
You're back.
While you bring the ashes to Cassidon's hold, I'll analyze the scry. Something strange is afoot.
Oh wait, I can't go this way. Never mind. Right? Oh, dang it. Should've just went to the other fast travel point. Because at least I have that one kind of memorized. Wanted to read this. Of course, you guys are going to be annoying, so I'm not even going to waste the time on it. You guys just been here burning this whole time? Now that I'm welcome there, can I go straight there? No, I have to head back. Oh my gosh. They love me now. Why can't I just go straight there?
Hey, I can't imagine how you must be feeling.
I am broken. Everyone wants a piece of me. Regardless.
Because you're in charge.
For now. Someone had to be. I don't know how I'm supposed to carry on like this. Without her, my support is gone. My foundations crumbled to dust. She wouldn't want me to cry. So I won't.
You can if you need to. I know our Weaver Band is still fairly new here, but you've got our support. All of us.
The funeral will honor her memory. Even if it's not what he wants, she would understand that it's enough. One day at a time, Bryn. That's all we can promise to ourselves.
Why are you still standing over there? You should be taking his seat, and he should be standing, I don't know, somewhere else. He's still called the Eye as well. He's not.
I performed the rite, and I brought you the ashes.
Thank you, Bryn. Isla admired you. She would be honored that you did this for her.
It's not how she would have wanted things. I should have been there.
Enough! I know you're grieving. We all are. But you are no longer the Eye, and this disrespectful conduct ends now. You owe Bryn a thank you. And an apology for that matter. And probably a great deal more than that. Not only has she gone out of her way to perform the rite for your daughter, but she saved us all from certain death at the Grand Gate too. None of which she would ever have had to do if it weren't for your...
For my actions! I know! I know! It's all my fault. I should have been there. Not at the temple. At the Grand Gate. I should have stayed. The way she looked at me when I left her there. I'll never forget it. I could fill a city with my mistakes. I should have supported her work. I should never have lied to her. My regrets will drown me.
Maybe they should.
Maybe they should.
My mother used to say, you can drown in your grief, or learn to swim in it. It is unfair that you lost a child, no matter the circumstances. I am so sorry that happened to you. But now you have a choice. You can spend the rest of your days counting the ways you failed your daughter. Or you can dedicate every breath you have left to her.
How?
Just do one small thing a day that would make her proud to call you her father. Start by helping us finish the work you wish you had supported in her life.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid. If you'll excuse me. But there is one thing. The Ark in your camp, the one she wanted to restore. It's called the Ark of Verdance. An enchantress named Lucia de Crassus built it.
Lucia.
Consider it a thank you for what you've done.
You're still called the Eye? You're not the Eye.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the Ark of Verdance?
Please. I've had enough. Just leave me be.
Fine. I understand.
What was the point in that? Just, hey, can you tell me any information? No. Okay, this didn't need to be a conversation piece.
I need you to know, nobody else has been checking in on me like you have. I feel as if I'm alone in the stifling dark. But you are a bright light. Even though everything is very hard, I need you to know that I see what you're doing. Thank you.
Of course. It's just the right thing to do.
You laying Isla to rest is what she would have wanted, despite what her father said. You inspired her to be better, braver. It respects her memory to the fullest.
It was the least I could do.
Don't diminish your contributions.
You've got our support, whatever form that takes.
For what it's worth, I appreciate that.
By the way, I found something that you might want to see. It's a letter I found in the Spindle's hideout. It looked like your handwriting. I didn't read it.
I don't understand why you've been so kind to us, Bryn.
It's okay. I'll let you get back to it, all right?
Likewise. You deserve better from him, but that was probably all he's capable of. Come to think of it, we all deserved better from him.
What will you do now?
Take care of my people. Someone needs to. And you? You're going to try to fix the arcs.
Yeah.
Isla saw something in the arcs no one else did. The Enclave's legacy, innovation and ambition. We can't let her death be in vain. Her work must be finished.
I wish I could help, but arcs were Isla's expertise, not mine. Still, I agree. That arc allowed you to pass safely through the tangles, where Surgeborn go to regenerate. If you're going to try to fix it, consider me heavily invested in your progress.
It's too great an advantage to ignore. I'll keep you updated.
All right. All that's left is talking to Dom. I'm stuck.
My light. I remember the day you were born, vividly. When I held you, my heart was so full it threatened to break. And I know your mother felt the same way. For all her flaws, she would be so proud of you. I am so proud of you. You certainly wear emergency powers of authority. Comfort. Hello.
Bro, I'd probably just shut the fuck up. You have no support now, and you're still gonna be running that mouth? I get it, your daughter died. Yeah, I'd just shut the fuck up. Okay. Anyone have some talk before I move on? Got some main or side quest. You got some side quests, but also some talk.
The last conversation I had with the Spindle was about Ira's plague. I went to Cassidy's Hold to visit her.
Really? Well, my understanding was that she didn't experience it herself.
No, but she understood being stigmatized by it. Even though Ira's plague affects many races, most believe it only affects Kashar. I haven't known many others like me throughout my life. Not intimately, at least. It was nice to speak with someone who understood that part of me.
I'm glad you got that chance.
Agreed. We never know how much time we'll have with someone.
Let's make every second of ours count, then.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
We got some more.
Could we just fill our lives with slow mornings in your tent from now on?
You'll get no complaints here. I take every chance I can get to watch the sunrise with you.
How do you do it?
Do what?
Make rest bearable. I've never been one to just sit in stillness. In fact, before you, lazing around sounded like torture. Not making the most of every second made me want to claw my skin off.
That sounds so sad to me.
I guess it was. With you, I can just be. And it's enough.
I know what you mean.
Really? Because it seems like you've been an expert at staying present long before I came along. Sometimes it feels like you're ahead of me on a lot of this stuff.
I guess I've always thought that happiness only exists in the present. Planning too much for the future breeds anxiety, and meditating too much on the past breeds loss. So I have always tried to just be, as much as anyone can. But with you, these slow moments somehow make me feel irrelevant? Well, that sounds bad, but I mean it in a good way.
I know. Like, there's no one to save and nothing to fix. The world just melts away.
Okay. Anyone? Oh, you're up, so I might as well.
Spindle sacrificed everything for us. We could have lost Bryn just as quickly as we lost her.
We didn't, though.
I really wish I could just pet you without stomping on your face. There you go. Let's see if anyone's got any talk. Lane? No. Oh, well, you do have a code. Sia de Crosses. Highly regarded expert on arc design and creation, creator of the Arc of Verdance, and would-be asylum saboteur, Lucia de Crosses was, or is, a woman. Oh. Should I not be reading this? A woman of many faces, or perhaps phases. We won't read this. I feel like that's probably important. Like she's still alive. Whoops. Let's get some talk first.
Oh, Bryn. Hi.
Were you crying? Are you okay?
Yes. The rite of ashes just got to me, that's all. The spindle and the axle only had such a brief time together.
It's awful. I can't imagine how she's feeling right now.
So much in life can be fleeting. It just makes you appreciate what a gift the time you have with someone is.
What you got for me?
You performed the Rite of Ashes beautifully, Bryn.
Glad to hear it. Not being part of the church myself, I felt a little out of place.
I'm sure Isla is at peace.
Oh. Ask about the afterlife.
The rite I read mentioned shrouding the spindle in an eternal warmth. Is that in reference to an afterlife?
Yes, although the Reformed sect do believe in an afterlife, it is featured more prominently in Orthodox Hallowpire beliefs. The idea being that the Great Fire is an ethereal, divine being which cannot be fully comprehended in this life, and who waits for its followers beyond this lifetime.
Okay. What happens to the ashes?
The Eye asked me to collect the ashes from the altar on his behalf. What does he intend to do with them?
It depends on the sect. But often the ashes from the ritual are interred with the body in a burial site. Other times, if it's a prominent family, which the Stanilds seem to be, the ashes are housed in a family mausoleum. Tragic, of course, that a father must do this for his child instead of the other way around.
Hey. Does hollow pyre often attract weavers?
A religion founded on fire seems like a natural draw for weavers. Was that your experience in Renland?
Hardly. In Renland, magic was ostracized. And there, it was viewed as unnatural corruption of fire. Pure ignorance. That's why I've turned my back on it for many years. But you're right, that the Stanild family's religious beliefs are notable. The prominence of the church in Upper Denevron suggests the weavers here held it in high regard.
All right. Thank you.
I appreciate your perspective on it. But I'd better let you get back to work.
Before you go, thank you for laying her to rest. You could have just paid your respects and left, but it was the right thing to do.
Let's go ahead and end this off, I think.
Dom, the interference I'm experiencing during expeditions is concerning. Is there any chance our scry is degrading like the ones belonging to the Enclave?
I'm still investigating, but my initial reaction is that it doesn't feel the same.
As long as it doesn't give out on us completely in the meantime.
However, I have taken a look at the Spindle's copy of the workings of Archons, and thankfully, the writing is far more legible than Lucia's. And her notes are significantly less paranoid at that.
About that, Kenrick Stanild told me that Lucia wasn't just tinkering with the Ark we followed through the Veil. She built it. The Ark of Verdance.
That is quite the revelation. What was it for?
That was all Kenrick could tell me. Or wanted to tell me. But Sev mentioned that Kenrick had been feeding Isla information about a failsafe for the source. Could the Ark of Verdance be the fix she was working on without realizing it?
Yes. Yes! That could be it. Genius, Bryn. On my side, I dug into her notes. She was working on a way to fully restore our Ark for us. She was so close to a schematic, intricate, elaborate, masterful. And I finished it. Sola has the final design ready for you. Essentially, we'll be creating a power core for the Ark. Most notably, we'll need a special part, a bar of shaped coral. This is the final key for an Ark to be functional on its own without a weaver channeling magic into it.
If we had built a power core earlier, could her death have been prevented?
She only made this discovery in the final days of her life, researching all the Ark parts we had supplied her. Her research even theorizes that using one's own magic to power an Ark for brief amounts of time could result in death.
So she knew she was going to die at the Grand Gate?
She knew exactly what would happen, and did it anyway. That's courage.
We can't let it be in vain. So, then the Ark of Verdance is our failsafe. Your design will get it running. Where can I find the shaped coral?
She suspected it was kept in the Archon's hearth, stored near natural coral deposits for its regenerative properties.
Okay, so I'm still on this mission. Got it. Got anything else to say about that? Nope. I mean, by the looks of it, I still have 2 locations to go to. Okay, the forge. Wait, none of these are called the forge. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know where the forge is, but none of those are called the forge.
The Archon's hearth once more. Wish Isla was here to guide me.
I could assist in her absence.
What the?
Bryn, what's...
Aurea, The scry has been compromised by the Surgeborn. Stay off it.
Compromised is such a strong word. I just want to talk. So, what are we looking for in the Archon's heart? I know the Underworks well. It is my region, after all.
Like I would tell you.
Whatever plan you've concocted, it would be better if we work together.
You murdered my friend.
Technically, I didn't touch her. It isn't my fault she lacked the stamina to follow through on what she started.
Okay, we good? We good. Okay. So the forge is over here, but it's not labeled as the forge. So...
There's a lot of coral here. I must be getting close to where the Enclave stored shaped bars. Will the Surgeborn know our plan when I pick it up? I guess that's a risk I need to take.
I mean, you're kind of saying it out loud, so... possibly.
Bar-shaped coral. You and I have such similar taste in treasure. Whatever you're planning to do with that is nothing compared to what we could accomplish if we put our minds together.
I can manage well enough on my own.
You could do so much more than manage.
Alright, have Sola craft the power core for the Ark.
Surgeborn in the Howling Jail somehow has access to the scry.
We know. I can feel it in there with me. It's not pleasant. We need to do something fast.
The good news is, as far as we can tell, it only has access when you're in the Underworks. At most, it seems to cause interference when you're above ground. We don't think it can listen in.
Until we can block its presence, best to keep use of the scry to a minimum.
Alright. I also can feel it.
Aurea, I could feel the Surgeborn too. I know exactly what you mean.
Doesn't feel great.
The kind of nausea that only comes from the wind being knocked out of you.
It takes a lot out of me to stay connected to you when it's present, let alone speak.
That must be why there's interference.
What you're both describing, it makes me wonder if the Eye was under a deeper influence from the Surgeborn than we realized.
How so?
We assumed he was merely manipulated into a foolhardy plan, but what if the Surgeborn had some sort of effect on his mind?
I could believe it. But if that's the case, then we need to limit Bryn's exposure to it through the scry. Fast.
And yours.
I don't think it's me the Surgeborn wants to influence. From the sounds of it, it wants you.
Yeah, most people do. At least 3 people on this team. Do we know how it's communicating?
Weavers need a physical connection to the scry to communicate, either by wearing the earpiece or touching the scroll. The Surgeborn doesn't have either, so how is it connecting to our scry?
Well, let's start with what we know. The imprisoned Talon was able to convince Stanild to open the gate. But the Herald was there and waiting. It was not surprised at all, despite the scout's distractions. Ergo, the Herald and Talon were communicating somehow, yet the Talon had been imprisoned for years. Would it not be reasonable to suggest the Surgeborn can communicate with one another using something like our scry? Or worse, perhaps they can share thoughts needing no magic at all.
A single shared consciousness.
The implications are frankly staggering, but it is the only explanation I can think of for what we've observed. And if I'm correct, it's not such a leap to imagine creatures like this, or perhaps a creature, would be capable of infiltrating our scry.
Right? So, how dire is this?
Let's hear it. How bad is all this?
The scry is a complex piece of Weaver enchantment. That this Surgeborn has broken in is not good.
We still don't know exactly what it wants, but if it continues to infiltrate our constructs, this could mean an all-out war.
War?
Imagine they gain control of the Enclave's arcs. Sure, they're dangerous now, but with a sentient strategist behind them, they could storm the Maida in a couple of hundred strides.
You think the Surgeborn's interests expand beyond the Enclave?
With an enemy as calculated as this, best to assume the worst.
Alright, let's move on to the next steps.
All right. How are we going to fix this?
The reason Aurea can sense the Surgeborn presence on the scry is likely because it's wielding magic to communicate. The same way Aurea's mantle pulls magic from the air to contact you. However, unlike Aurea, the Surgeborn can't pull magic from the air around it. Otherwise, it would be talking to you all the time.
But it can only reach me when I'm underground.
Where the tangles are most dense. We need to cut off its access to raw magic.
That's where the spindle comes in. Thanks to her, we finally have the missing piece to get our escort here running.
It was a failsafe in the case that the source needed to be repaired. The Ark of Verdance will create a safe bubble against the tangles, which would be the natural consequence of any failure of the source.
Just like it did with the Veil.
Exactly. But without the crushing weight that caused it to fail.
So, the plan. We get the Ark to the source, it stabilizes the Enclave.
Or at the very least, starts the process.
If the Herald waiting down there doesn't destroy it first, I'll need to take it down. If this plan is going to work.
That sounds dangerous.
It might be a risk worth taking.
We have to. The Enclave is overflowing with raw magic, and this source is clearly the root of the problem. Too many tangles have led to the floods. They allow the Surgeborn to communicate and infect our enchantments. Without the source under control, we will never reclaim the Enclave.
Then that's our plan. We build a power core, then we speak to the Axle.
I'll join you at Cassidon's Hold.
Okay. I still have quests I want to do. This ain't like in-game, no, because these are main quests. I mean, yeah, guys, I got other things I gotta do here. You're not gonna just force me into the in-game, are you? Let's just be safe. Let's make a save. Arc on part that allows the Arc to draw magic from the air without another Weaver channeling magic into it.
And with this power core, we can fix our Ark of Verdance. I think this is what they call a full circle moment.
Huh. Lately, I feel like I've been running in circles.
Hey, I know things look bleak, but this is a win. Don't let the Talon rob you of it. You're finishing her work, after all.
You're right.
I always am. Now, I think you've got a meeting with the Axle.
I mean, you and your husband haven't made up yet.
It's a little bit beautiful, isn't it? It's like reaching into the past and shaking hands with its designer. We have achieved much.
I think she'd be happy to see it up and running.
I think so too. Plans set in motion decades ago. Slowly ticking towards fruition. If we are so lucky.
Khan Arteme, my Weaver band has repaired the ark we followed through the Veil and discovered its true purpose.
To nullify the tangles at the source so it can be repaired.
Its anti-magic properties are why we were able to follow it through the Veil in the first place.
I see.
If we could get it to the source, we believe it could stabilize the Enclave.
Except the Grand Gate was broken when the Ark pushed the Herald back through it.
Surely there must be another way to reach the source.
Now that it's repaired, couldn't this Ark be used to leave the Enclave the way you came?
In theory, sure.
What are you saying, Khan Arteme?
It's time for someone to protect my people. I need to use that Ark to get us all out of here.
You would leave with the Surgeborn running loose? Or worse, allow them to spread and wreak havoc across the Maida in your wake?
No one has succeeded in stopping them yet. We've been trapped inside the Enclave for decades. It's time to set ourselves free before the Surgeborn overtake Cassidon's hold and kill us all.
Okay. So she does have a point. Her people do need to be safe. Reminding her that the Surgeborn will still be a threat, also a good choice. But also fear isn't the answer. None of these sound like a good one for me to tell her. So I'm gonna say this one?
In moments like these, we can't give in to our worst fears. That's what Kenrick did, and look where it got him.
We're only still here because the Spindle was brave. Honor that.
The Surgeborn has infiltrated our scry. It's learning how to use our enchantments against us. If we don't put a stop to this madness, how long until they overtake the Arks? Or bring down the Veil and spread across the Maida?
That is concerning. Still, let's be clear. Even if you could reach the source, there's a massive Surgeborn that almost killed you lurking down there.
I'll be ready for the Herald this time.
And what are you gonna do about all the tangles? Punch them before they disintegrate you?
Honestly, we haven't quite figured that out yet. But Sev has some ideas.
The Ram that was helping Kenrick? Really?
Yes. The Ram that repaired the Grand Gate, and warned us just in time to save Cassidon's hold.
Fair enough, I suppose. But as you've said, you have no way to reach the source.
Fine. Our plan has a few kinks to iron out.
More than a few.
How about this? If you can just give us time to present you with the final plan, it'll be your call whether or not we move forward on it.
I suppose that's fair. I can't pack up this stronghold in a day.
One more thing. It's clear by now the Enclave hides its secrets well. If there's any information on the source, I need access to it.
There are private records that can only be accessed with the Eye's signet. I suppose he's not using it at the moment, but...
Bryn did just save your people from certain death not too long ago.
Fine, you can borrow it. You should find information at the Spire in Upper Denevron, the Bastion, and the Institute.
We'll arrange a meeting with you when we're ready.
Good luck.
Why is this the one that it immediately starts afterwards? This one's gonna take forever, right? Because I most likely am gonna have to finish these two before I can finish In Memories. I guarantee that. So I'm gonna stop progressing in Memories because I need to do the other two to answer her questions from earlier. So I'll be back. We can now continue In Memories. We gotta go find hidden fragments. One is in the Spire of Upper Denevron, one is in the Institute's Eastern Circuit of Musing, and one is in the Bastion's garrison. Well, let's go at Abra first. Let's take off. Upper Denevron Spire. A dragon with some doubt. Drought. Dragon with some doubt. He's unsure of himself. The dragon won't most likely get in the way, because this'll be up in the school if it's anywhere, right?
Council records are meant to be public. Wonder what else the Eye was hiding from his people.
Said that again. You've already told me that. Oh, come on. Instead of running all the way around, we'll just climb. Oh, and it's already marked. Okay. Is there a brick there? No. Anywhere I think there's a brick, there's no brick. Oh, what was that graphical error? Okay. Letter of concern.
Records of the construction and maintenance of grand gates across the Enclave.
Sorry about your ankles, Brent. Oh wait, where are we going next? The Institute's... What's technically closer? I think the western area is closer, or the Ramos is closer than the eastern. Oh man. You guys go fight that guy. Oh, I passed it. Let's get out of his sight. No! love wolves, so having to yeet them off the map every time kinda sucks. It's better than dealing with frost damage. Western Circuit of Musing is here. Ooh. Unless you got what I have, I don't really care for you. So I did go up here in the previous episode, but there was nothing there but like a chest. Nothing's marked on my map, so it's not up here. There's another chest. Well, there's some, like, lore, but... something specific. It's in the Eastern. I'm over here in the frickin' Western like a dummy dumb. Ow. And it was in the Eastern the whole time. Sorry, dude, I'm busy. Ice. No! Melted all the ice around it. What I'm looking for isn't here, though, because I'm not even in the right place. that's you.
Hold on, hold on.
Where's that explosion? I should have just killed him. They're time wastes, you know? It's really all they are now. Once I have their maxed out stuff, they're just a waste of my time. I also didn't get to choose what I kept. I just kept all my items? Oh, is that what I get for maxing out my items? No! Come on, I ignored you. That means you fuck off. You're easy to kill, so I don't mind as much. You! Fuck off! Okay. So I'm where I need to be, I just don't know where. Coral sample.
Field notes from an expedition to the source shortly after the siege. Enchanters descent severely damaged the coral. All who participated in the expedition were sworn to secrecy by the Eye in power at the time.
You gotta start climbing now if I want to get up there before he gets over here. Head to the bastion. Okay, let's head to the bastion, the final one on my map. Go! He's dropping bombs already. This time don't stop.
Last time we went looking for answers in the bastion. Half the documents were torn to shreds. What else were they hiding behind the Eye's signet?
You were made for each other. Energy
It
reading.
looks like research that's been compiled on the ecological and geographic impact of the surge across the Enclave's landscape. There's an entire section on the widening of the Great Chasm.
I don't need to know about that guy widening his Great Chasm. Moving on. Oh. Okay. Back to lane. The Great Chasm. The source. Attached is a heavily redacted report on the location or object known as the source. It seems to be some kind of briefing for Enclave politicians with newly gained security clearance. The source is a natural fount, like a fountain of, why did they just say fountain? A natural fount of magic located deep underground. Discovered during the early stages of the Enclave settlement, it was quickly found that objects exposed to it would rapidly redacted. The coral-like mineral surrounding it seems to be immune to this effect. After several weeks of meetings with high clearance individuals, it was decided that this natural formation must be exploited. Of course, we're like, gotta exploit that shit. Our highest performing engineers were recruited from across the Enclave, sworn to secrecy, and put to work attempting to understand the location's mechanics. This work was put on hold once an experiment revealed that the coral acted as an extremely efficient and low resistance magical conduit. This was immediately recognized as a discovery that would allow construction of incredibly complex magical artifacts. Thus, was the project split into two sub-projects. One, to gauge the feasibility of harnessing the source as a way to access unlimited magical energy, and the other to harvest and utilize the coral to enhance the Enclave's magical engineering capabilities. Several pages are redacted. The coral was essential in the design and production of our now ubiquitous arcs. We found that, as a living mineral, it can be grown and farmed, thus keeping the future in mind. Pilot production facilities were built, though the majority of our coral resources will come from harvesting the original deposit around the source. Another page is redacted. Further experiments are undergoing on the source itself as we expand our infrastructure. It seems to react to energy input. It is not alive, per se, but it is more akin to a raging hearth. We are close to finding a way to harness its energy. Additional funding is always welcome. Isn't it coral?
I hope you're not afraid of diving into bottomless pits.
Hardly. Maybe a little. Why?
Despite the Grand Gates no longer functioning, there is a more direct way to reach the source. By dropping straight down into a rift in Lower Denevron.
You know, last time I wanted to charge into a restricted area, you weren't so sure it was a great idea.
People change. Maybe I've learned a thing or two about calculated risk-taking from you. And the prospect of securing the source makes this a risk worth taking.
With this knowledge and Sev's plan to control the miasma with the aeroliths, I'll get Aurea to call a meeting with the Axel.
Perfect.
That source. No talk. Talk. None of you have any talk. Sev doesn't have any talk.
All right, everyone. Let's give Khan Arteme the rundown.
Using the aeroliths, I can trigger a miasma everywhere they affect above ground.
It is advised that your people remain indoors during this process.
The miasma will flow from the source, which will lessen the raw magic enough to keep Bryn safe while she escorts the Ark.
And how is she going to get there without the Grand Gate? She'll drop in through the rift in Lower Denevron. Skies, of course she will.
Don't worry. I've got plenty of experience scaling down cliffs.
Once she's in the underworks, she'll stay within the Ark's protective field and follow it to the source where it will fulfill its purpose, to pacify the Tangles.
And what about the Herald?
That's where you're going to need to trust me.
You really think you can do this?
Yeah, I mean, with the band I got, we can do anything.
When I doubt my own abilities, I just look to my band. Kaz is prepared for plans A through Z. Dam and Sola have me armed to the teeth. Aurea is going to guide me through thick and thin. Lane knows more about the Enclave than the people still living in it. Arik has brought us into your world, and Sev can control the freaking weather. How can I fail?
You've asked me to guide us. Now, it's time for you to trust me when I say, this is our path.
Kenrick lied to us for decades. It's hard to believe anyone who says they're going to take care of the Surgeborn now. But with how open you've been, and everything you've done for us already, you've earned my trust. We will stay and fight for our hearth.
Thank you.
Bryn, I'll coordinate with Sev. When you're ready, come see me.
That ends in memories. I'm guessing we're officially in the end game? On the precipice? No one has any talk? I'm about to go jump off a cliff. None of you have any talk for me? I'm just gonna sleep to see what happens. Maybe they need to be refreshed. No? Okay.